Alright guys, story time, story time, story time. You, you guessed it, it's a story time. That's what we're doing. Enjoy. So basically what happened is I don't want to film this anymore, so fuck this shit. Hey guys, it's Sydney, and today we are back with another story time. So I was trying to think, like, what other story time could I do, because I just don't really have any interesting stories. Like, I'm not Tana Mojo. Like, I'm not the storytime queen. I'm not even a queen with story times. I'm just not a queen in general, actually. I had to have something interesting happen in my life, like, other than getting stung by a jellyfish. So I was thinking, and I was like, I know the time I almost died in a flood and then almost got kidnapped. Like, how do you forget that? Like, enjoy, bitches. And don't know what year it was. I was probably six or seven. That's like my guess. I don't know. I was with my sister, my grandparents, and myself. Me, myself, and I. So we were on our way to the beach. The lovely, wonderful, amazing, beautiful Topsail Island beach. Awesome, amazing, beautiful. Yes. So, we're on the way to the beach. I am a little kid. This is probably one of my first trips away from my parents for a long period of time. So I was crying, physically and emotionally crying. I actually had this blanket with me. I have all of my baby blankets. I have 3 of them. I know, I'm cool. I keep them. They're my lovies. I love them forever. They'll always be mine. So I actually had this one. I'm sorry, but this is my favorite. It's my heart blanket. Heart blankie. That's what she's called. Yes, it's a she. Yes. So I was in the car and I had my blanket over my face and I was being a little over dramatic, like normal. And I was crying because I missed my parents. So it was already a terrible trip so far because I was just an emotional wreck. Like, it was basically me on my period. It's starting to pour rain. Pour, beyond pour. Pouring rain. And my grandma decides to, take a little turn and ends up hitting a pothole, which caused her bumper to fall off, but not all the way. Just most of the way, and then just stops, doesn't fall off the rest of the way. So because of that, we couldn't drive anywhere. It was starting to fill up water on the roads. Filling up higher than the fire. And we didn't know what to do. So we were literally in the middle of the road. Some stranger, complete stranger, and no idea what their names were. I think one of them was Terry, maybe. I don't know. But they come up to our car, knocking on the window. Can I help you? Like, what? Can I help you, please? You know what my grandma tells them? Can you take these kids somewhere? Can you just take my grandchildren, please? Like, I don't know you, but can you please take my grandchildren? Because that would really be helpful to put my grandchildren's safety into the hands of a complete stranger. Because that's such a smart decision. And that's exactly what happened. So we got into these strangers' car. First thing, it smelled like total cigarettes. Total smoke. Disgusting. Gross. Terrible. And me and my sister were like, what is going on? Like, what is happening right now? First, I'm an emotional wreck because I miss my parents. Then our car gets in a car wreck. Then I'm given off to total strangers, away from my grandparents. So I'm even more of an emotional wreck. This is like I'm basically like 10 times worse than I would be on my period. And I was a little child. I shouldn't have to experience this in kind of emotionalness. Fear at such of a young age. And I did. I felt it. And it was terrible. But at least I had my sister. So they took us to this restaurant. They luckily did not kidnap us. I'm really just really thankful for you guys for not like kidnapping me. Like if you were the ones who took me in, you somehow end up watching this video, it's very unlikely. Like it's like a 2% chance this will happen. No, like a 0.5% chance that will even happen. But if it, just does, thank you so much for not kidnapping me. I really, 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 really appreciate that one. Kind of like that kind of would have been an even better story time if like you actually did kidnap me. So maybe you just should have kidnapped me, but like I'm happy that you didn't. Like, I'm just glad that it turned out this way. But they took us to this restaurant. They gave us potato chips and a soda, and we were waiting there for like forever. Probably it was not forever, but it felt like forever because we were little kids. Like, we were freaking out, like alone with strangers. And so eventually the police pull up with my lovey-dovey grandfather, and he comes in, we're like, oh my god, like, we miss you, like, don't do that to me, like, don't you ever put me in that kind of situation again. For real, though, like, don't put me in that situation, though, like, I don't like that, I don't appreciate this situation that I was put into, so then my grandma I didn't see my grandma for another few hours, before I saw my grandpa. So he comes over to us, and he, just a little funny moment that happened was he, yelled at us to not move because he had to, use the bathroom. And as he was walking to the bathroom, he decides to, take his little hand and, put it in the back of his, like, right on the ass, and, just scratch that, like, really just scratch that shit. And that's what he did, and we watched it all, and it was, still remember the image. Never forget. And then eventually we were taken to a motel because we couldn't find where our condo was, and we now had no car because, we got in a car accident. The water was very high by the time we got to the restaurant, too. Like, it was probably up to, like, here on me, and, excuse me, and I was little, so, like, that's, like, oh my god, sorry. So that's, like, high. It was a lovely experience. It was just very, very lovely. I loved it. It was lovely. So we get to this motel. We stayed there for the night, and then the next day my dad came down to Topsail Island, around, like, wherever we were. It was, like, around there. And I was so happy. I was like, oh, don't leave me again. Like, oh my god. Please don't leave. Like, don't leave me with these people, please. Like, take me with you. So I was happy, like, emotionally happy. For a time. For a few hours. I was happy. So very happy. And when that happiness decided to end? When my dad left. Again, he just left me again, and Sydney took her blanket, put it over her head, and cried her eyes out again, because it was a terrible, terrible, horrible experience having to be left not once, but twice. Actually 3 times, because I was left with my grandparents too. It was terrible. I hated it. But, like, we did have a fun time at the beach, like, I'll admit. Like, once we, got all over this shit, like, and I moved on, it was a lovely day. So, that's my little story time. Basically, I died. That's, like, the moral of the story, basically. Basically, I had a chance to die in two situations. 2 situations going on at the exact same time, basically. So, basically, I died. So, but, like, almost. But, like, didn't actually die, but, like, almost died. Like, basically, I almost died. And that's the moral of my story. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. Basically, I died. Basically, I almost died. Basically. It was a fun, terrible, horrible, lovely experience. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. Because I love being given to strangers when I'm 6 years old. I love it. And I love getting in a car accident. And I love being stuck in a flood. I just love it all. Like, oh my god. I just love it. So yeah, make sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to join the Squidney Squad. Because we love the ocean. I mean, obviously the ocean loves us because, you know, I got stung by a jellyfish in the ocean. I got stuck in a flood, which is made of water. The ocean is made of water, and I got stung and then stung by a jellyfish in the ocean, which is made of water. Like, water in the ocean and just everything that has to do with the ocean basically just does not have a love for me. Why the fuck can't the ocean just love me? Like, why can't we just not have a love-hate relationship and just have a love relationship at all times? But that's just not the case, and, yeah, love this. Hope you enjoyed my video. I enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the time that I spent filming. Not really, because I had to film this fucking twice, so. But I do love looking at myself in the mirror because it just makes me happy to, like, look like this right now. Even though I look like shit, but, like, no, psych, Yeah, have, like, a wonderful day. Like, I just don't know how to end my videos, really. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely night. Have a lovely life. Make sure you never get handed off to strangers. And don't get stuck in a flood. They suck. They're terrible. You might almost die like I did. Okay, bye.